In the currency quadrant today, I have to talk about the British pound down about 0.25%. It is now down 4 consecutive days and by a decent amount, over 3%. Those 4 consecutive sessions have taken the British pound futures, the March futures, below the pre-election close. We've gotten as high as 135.48 after the Conservative victory by Boris Johnson and his party. Today's low, 130.98, was lower than the close the day before the election, which again in the March futures was around 131.61. So all of that exuberance that happened after the Conservative victory has been taken out of the March British pound futures. Part of the reason is back to the same old story with Brexit nervousness. While we now have a certainty that there is going to be a Brexit, the 12-month timeline for a deal that Boris Johnson is espousing is making the market nervous. A deal with the EU done by the end of 2020, so it'd be about this time this year that we'd be looking at a cliff edge for the UK if there was no deal in place. And sometimes these things take quite a bit longer than that, as you can see with the USMCA, the US-China trade deal, which is only a phase 1. A lot of market participants are nervous that 12 months is not enough time, and Boris Johnson means to amend the law that he intends to put into place, the Brexit law, saying that 12 months and that's it. If there's no trade deal, then they just crash out of the EU, and that would be the hard Brexit that people seemed to fear a few months back. But the Conservative victory does say that there is going to be a Brexit. People of the UK have voted that Brexit is what they want by electing the Conservatives. And lastly, looking forward to tomorrow, the Bank of England meeting is Mark Carney's last meeting as the governor of Bank of England. So what does that mean? Well, he's a bit of a lame duck. He's not expected to do anything, but you could see some commentary now that this is his first meeting with Brexit in place. In other words, with a certainty that Brexit is going to be happening. There's no second referendum. So he's likely to comment on how bad it could be if there's a hard Brexit versus a soft Brexit or a Brexit with a trade deal. Right now, it looks like President Trump's going to approach the UK for a US-UK deal. So at least that might be in place depending on what happens with this. But it is all lending a note of uncertainty into the pound, and the pound is now below pre-election lows.